Greetings grammarians and welcome to another awe-inspiring English language video. And today we're going to look at business greetings, introductions and expressions around interviews, meetings, giving presentations and social situations in a business context. A lot of people these days are having telephone calls, Skype calls and Zoom meetings, and most of these expressions are appropriate for these too. We'll look at how to greet people, how to introduce yourself, how to make small talk, how to end a conversation, and some useful expressions as well, so that your interview or meeting or whatever goes perfectly. Greetings are so important. You may know the subject like a god, but first impressions are really crucial. You never get a second chance to make a good first impression. Let's get started. Let's begin with introductions. You can say, nice to meet you, pleased to meet you, great to meet you, nice to meet you, Greg. And your reply is, nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too, Sarah. If you've met the person before, you could say, good to see you again, or great to see you again. Great to see you again, Mary. If you've spoken to the person before by email, but you haven't met them, say, good to finally meet you. Or good to meet you at last. Good to meet you at last, Bob. If you know the person already, just say, how are you? How are you? By the way, how are you is just a greeting. Don't read too much into it. Always reply with something positive, such as, I'm fine, thank you, and you? Even if you're having a really bad day, you're still going to say, I'm fine. And if you want to know more ways to respond to how are you, then check out the video up here. A word about names. In British and American English and in most of the English speaking world, it's usual to use the first name even in very formal situations. This is the default. However, if you are in any doubt, use the surname and take the lead from the other person. If someone is using your surname, you may say something like, please call me John. Or you can ask permission to call the other person by the first name. Can I call you Jennifer? If her name's Jennifer, of course. You might have to introduce your colleague to somebody else. In this case, just say something like, let me introduce you to Jennifer. Or if it's possible that they met before, say, have you met Bob? You might meet somebody that you've already met, in which case, just say something like, good to see you again. Or on the phone, say, good to speak to you again. It's good to speak to you again, Simon. Your conversation partner can reply in a number of ways. He or she might say, what have you been up to? This is just small talk. It doesn't really require a long answer. Just say, not much, this and that. I've been keeping busy. If you're talking to a group of people, perhaps you're giving a presentation or introducing yourself at a meeting, say, hello everybody, and then say what you've got to say. You could also say, ladies and gentlemen, but this is very old-fashioned and I don't recommend it, although some people still do use it. What about making a conversation with a stranger in a professional context? Someone you don't know might approach you at a conference, for example, or you might approach them. In that case, just say, hello, my name's Gideon. Or if it's someone in your circle, but you haven't spoken to that person yet, you could say, hello, I don't think we've met. My name's Gideon. Of course, often when you're making small talk, people ask about your job. And in that case, you could just say, what do you do? That's the classic question. I'm sure you know that. What do you do? Now, this is a question about your job, and the answer is, I'm a teacher. What do you do? I'm a teacher. You could also say, what do you do for a living? Remember, it's not what you do for life, what you do in your life, or something like that. I've heard that before. No, it's what do you do for a living? And it's the same answer. I'm an engineer, whatever it is. Do not say, what are you doing? That's a question about what's happening now. What are you doing? What am I doing now? I don't know. I'm just like talking to you and drinking coffee. Avoid the question, what is your job? It makes some people feel uncomfortable, especially if they're not working at the moment. They might be unemployed, looking for work, a student or something else. A better question could be, what line are you in? Now, this is asking for your field rather than a specific job. And what line are you in? The answer is also about the field. What line are you in? I'm in education. I'm in banking. I work in forestry, whatever. And it's a better question because maybe someone's not working at the moment, but they still have a field. So I'm in banking, though I'm not working at the moment. I'm looking for a job. Maybe you have your own business. There are several ways of saying that. You could say, I'm self-employed, or I work for myself. What do you do? I work for myself. This also works if you are a freelancer, but don't just say, I'm a freelancer. This usually comes with what you're freelancing in attached. So for example, I'm a freelance journalist. I'm a freelance designer. To ask about the duration of time someone has been at a job, say, how long have you been? Okay, so for example, how long have you been working at Bigwig Systems? You can omit the verb. How long have you been at Bigwig Systems? The answer will take the same structure. I've been working there. Okay, you don't need to repeat the name of the company again. I've been working there for 8 years. Okay, I've been there for 8 years. Now, do your meeting, do your email, do your presentation, be fantastic. And by the way, we do have many videos on this channel about interview techniques for non-native speakers. Check the playlist up here. Now, it's the end of the meeting and it's important to sound professional and enthusiastic at the end, and here are a few phrases you can use. Of course, you can say, it was a pleasure speaking with you today. It was nice speaking with you today. It was great speaking with you today. Or you could say, I very much enjoyed our conversation. I hope to see you soon. Do let me know if you have any questions. Some people say, don't hesitate to let me know if you have any questions. Personally, I don't like that. I prefer an affirmative phrase rather than a negative phrase. So do let me know if you need anything. You can reach me by phone or by email. You could also say, I look forward to meeting you again, or to be more emphatic, I do look forward to meeting you again, or I do look forward to speaking to you again if you're on the phone. If you want to contact the person again, you could use the expression to touch base, So say something like, it was great speaking to you today. Let's touch base again next week and we can follow up our conversation. Now it's your turn to practice. I'll ask you a question and just say the answer. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. What do you do for a living? How long have you been working there? What line are you in? Here's the answer. You give me the question. I'm in banking. I'm a freelance IT consultant. This and that. I've been working here for 5 years. Let us know in the comments if you have any suggestions for business greetings or business expressions that you like to use. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video.